because that was us on the stream.
Oh. All right, guys.
Or Snake.
More Snake versus Green White Legends again.
I don't know.
Or did we not?
It's not updated.
It's not updated. Okay.
Yeah. Tim Mueller is in fact playing Green Red Monsters. Dan Perkins. We are in for a surprise because we don't know.
Yay, not knowing. I wanted to put John Douglas on, but he was playing against Mario.
Oh.
I didn't want to put him on again.
That's unfair.
So we're gonna have John win, and then he'll play against someone who we haven't seen yet. Hopefully. I just want to put Blu-ray God for his gift on. Looks like.
Why?
Because I love that deck. Is he on mono green? I see green cards and forests in his hand.
Well, I like the start. I like the sounds of mono green. He didn't play Llanowar Elves. So
That he scryed Llanowar Elves to the top.
I mean, turn 2 is bad, isn't it?
It's still fine.
Hey, look, Llanowar Elves.
We still get to play our...
Elves.
The next turn, I believe he has a Steel Leaf Champion in his hand. I believe his hand is currently Steel Leaf Champion, Verdurous Gearhulk, and two lands.
All right. The players right now know that Llanowar Elves is a 2-drop, right?
Apparently. You mean know that's a 1-drop?
Yeah, I hope they know it's a 1-drop.
So Llanowar Elves is actually weird in Green Red Monsters because the mana base is not actually good at casting it on turn 1.
Mm-hmm. So do you play Steel Leaf Champion here or you play Ronus?
I would play probably Steel Leaf Champion because it beats in. I mean, they both attack for 5. I don't know. It's weird.
The reason I play Ronus because it can't be removed, whereas Steel Leaf Champion can. Or at least not against Green Red.
Yeah, what in Green Red Monsters kills a 5/4?
Yeah. I mean, Glorybringer. I mean, he's obviously not casting it that
yeah.
But he's also got Struggle Survive. He can 2-for-1 himself.
He would need a 4th land.
Mm-hmm.
You know what doesn't block Steel Leaf Champion?
All these 1/1s?
Well, we might have a 3/2.
Got a 3/2.
It's 2/1.
Alright. Well, none of these creatures can block Steel Leaf Champion.
Yeah, but we might see a Glorybringer next turn. I can't see what's in Tim's hand. Does it look like he has
I think it's 2 struggles to survive. It's Struggle, a Mountain, a Braid, and
something else.
Can't see the last one. Yep.
Here we have Ronus.
Alright. Yeah, like, I feel like Tim's, like, not blocking that turn anyway, so playing the Ronus first lets you get into 5 damage there. And if he does want to block, it gives him the option to, like, throw away one of those elves. So,
makes sense.
like,
all
I
right.
think you're fine doing that if you're doing
Yeah. What do you got, Tim?
Alright, we got 6 mana available to us. We can do, like, removal spell, Steel Leaf Champion of our own. Glorybringer is...
Tim's playing Steel Leaf Champion?
I don't know. I don't know what's...
I don't know if I want to play Steel Leaf Champion in my deck that also contains Mountain. You can't do that anymore. We can't put Llanowar Elves.
Yeah,
there we go. Interesting rule changes. You cannot do that
I'm just
anymore.
doing it kinda for like a second with my monkeys. I was just playing it as my land, you know, tapping it and then putting it in exile once I used it.
That's weird.
That's Simian Spirit Guide for you, right? It's even better when, you know, people just like throw a card off in exile and you don't even see it, and it's just like, well, you pay 2 mana for this, so I guess somewhere there's a exile pile.
Yeah, probably.
Alright, you got a Ripjaw Raptor.
Ripjaw Raptor. Interesting.
Really, I don't like playing the Verdurous here. I like to try to spread out the counters a little bit more. I can definitely see the argument for playing it here.
I mean, I think the argument is how does Tim deal with a 5-mana 8/8 trample?
A Braid.
That is true. Is that something Dan's thinking about?
Yeah, and then like you really just don't want to like put the counters on Ronus because Ronus can just not do anything.
Yeah.
Make sure that they do the dice that we can actually read.
Yeah, that'd be great. My guess is it's 2 and 2.
It is,
but I can't tell. Not with those dice. Looks like we're gonna get a chump block here. Oh, yeah, it's 2 and 2.
Yep, 2 and 2. Yeah, chump. Yeah. Alright, so Glorybringer won't untap this turn. Let's see what Tim has. I mean, obviously we know there's going to be a Braid for that Verdurous. And a Rekindling Phoenix. He doesn't have enough red. Yes, he does. He has that.
He just drew the Rootbound Crag.
Well, he drew the Phoenix for turn, I believe, and he had the Rootbound Crag, I guess, last turn.
And we have just enough mana to do all this.
Yep. So it looks like Tim's going to be far ahead in the air.
Yeah, that's one of the things this green deck cannot deal with very well is flyers.
No. Surprising that there's no, like, giant spiders in there, right?
Still probably don't want that.
You're right.
Mammoth spiders.
That one's got reach. I
Does
learned
it?
that the hard way.
I don't. How did you learn that the hard way?
I was in limited. I attacked with the flyer.
Oh, okay.
And then I looked at the card. I was like, how can this go poorly? That has reach. Oh. Well, all right. Let's do the same concession.
That happened to me in Shadows over Innistrad.
Yeah.
Limited. I attacked my Avacyn into an Ulvenmold Hydra.
Oh, yeah. That got reach, too.
I forgot that one had reach. It was pre-release, so I'm not too upset about it, but...
Yep. Even more awkward, Dan can't really attack here.
But he is.
Going to.
Yeah.
Block.
Well, free block. Get it back. It'll attack next turn.
Yep. So
do we have the Prey Upon?
Yeah. I would hope so, but I guess
apparently we don't.
Yeah. I don't really like that attack because, sure, like, he's not going to attack with his ground creatures into the Ripjaw Raptor anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But it just leaves something to be desired, right? Steel Leaf Champion in hand is probably going to be pretty good for Dan. As long
Is it?
He's going to die before it becomes relevant.
Yeah.
He needs to find a way to deal with some flyers. All right, Mono Green, what do we got? I think Crushing Canopy.
Crushing Canopy. Stinging Shot is probably the best one. I don't remember if that puts 2 -1/-1 counters or 3 -1/-1 counters. There's the, I believe, 2 mana deals 7 to a flyer.
Light. Magma Spray.
There's also just Plummet.
Yeah, right. Just
Plummet's probably the best.
I kind of like Crushing Canopy because, it's not, like, completely useless against decks with non-flyers.
Just 3 mana.
It's an instant and destroys enchantments, which is very relevant with all these, with the histories, or I keep calling them histories, but
Sagas.
Sagas, yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna Saga. Oh, we get to draw a card.
Yeah, we're gonna get to draw a card.
Value.
I hope Dan knows that his Llanowar Elves is in exile, and that's just not his entire graveyard.
What killed the Llanowar Elf?
A Magma Spray earlier on in the game.
Okay.
It's not gonna matter here.
Yeah. Well, we're at 2. We can play 5 mana 8/8.
That's pretty cool.
You know what it doesn't have?
Reach.
Reach.
Yeah, it's pretty big. You could probably reach most dragons.
It still bugs me that I have attacked someone for lethal with a Thopter when they had an Ulamog in play.
Yeah.
Like, how does that make sense?
It's the, like, I guess the rocket one, the one that's just like flying in the
Yeah.
stratosphere or whatever. Like,
It's got
not this big.
It's got space flight from the Star Wars set.
So, Super Boss Giovanni, what's in your Jund deck for standard? If it's so fun to play.
Yes, I'm very curious about this.
Yeah.
I would love to, if you can make Jund good in this format. So you can make Jund good in any format.
I mean, would you choose to play Jund over Blue-White?
If I had the
Blue-White
cards.
is like all you, man.
Blue-White is very all me. And it is something that I would probably play. If I had the cards for Blue-White, I'd probably play Blue-White right now.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I was lucky enough to not trade away my Lyras or Teferi's before the weekend.
I didn't have any.
Well,
Yeah.
working here, you get a bunch of packs. Because, people show up and they're like, hey, you want to buy a pack with me? And it's like, I shouldn't, but I've been watching people open these all day, so...
Yeah.
I gotta get some.
I might buy a few packs later today. Who knows?
I made a Thing in the Ice Vampire Hexmage Westfell Abbey deck.
What? This sounds
Right.
insane.
Well, Thing in the Ice and Vampire Hexmage seems like a sweet combo, but Westfell Abbey, I'm not exactly sure what that's doing in the stack.
Do we have a way to make a bunch of dudes? I'm curious.
I'll say, if you're making a bunch of dudes, it seems like a Nomba with Thing in the Ice.
That is true. I don't know. What is Westfell? Maybe they just want a thing that makes a 1/1 end of turn.
So Giovanni says it runs a lot of mana dorks and ramps into Joseph S.
Oh.
with some red value cards and some burn.
Lord.
Huh.
So we're ramping into Josuves. Interesting.
Josu's like an okay card. I'm not exactly sure if that's what I
Yeah.
want to be doing with my life.
Like, they just play... You just kick your Josuves and they just go...
Right.
Gearhulk disallow.
I mean, they could do that or, just fatal push the token. Say, Josuves only... It's 10 mana for a 4/5 and a 2/2, right?
No, it's a 4/5 and like 8 2/2s.
Oh, 8 2/2s?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right.
Oh, you're right. It might be 10 2/2s.
I mean,
Or it's like 13. I don't know. It's a lot of 2/2s.
We're going to find out how many 2/2s.
They can also just Essence Scatter it.
Yeah?
Here we go. Kicked, create 8 2/2 black zombie knight creature tokens with menace.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that seems fair.
It's 10 mana.
Yeah, no, 10 mana seems about reasonable for that. The last time we saw something like that was Army of the Damned, right? And that's 11 mana? 10 mana? Something like that?
Yeah, it's around there. And that created 13, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we have... we have the turn 1 Llanowar Elves for Dan.
And then turn to Harvester, it looks like.
Just for Harvester, but he doesn't have a 4th mana.
Yeah, he does. He's got 3. That's all he needs.
Does he have...
I could be wrong.
I don't see the 3rd land.
I thought that's a forest after the Harvester there.
No, I believe that's another Ripjaw Raptor.
Okay. We'll find out.
I could be wrong.
Does not look like Tim has the turn 1 Magma Spray.
That's good. It's good for
sign for
good for Dan.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put that out.
Put the Harvester into play. Like it.
Yeah, I would slam Harvester here. Get some.
You know what's a good
energy.
answer against Rekindling Phoenix? A 3/5 with flying.
It does beat Rekindling Phoenix, or it does square off with Rekindling Phoenix pretty well. Does not very exactly beat him.
That's true.
Blossoming Defense. All right, we're gonna find hopefully a non-land since there's a bunch of lands in there.
Ronus is a
I don't
non-land.
think that's the non-land I want right now.
Yeah, we're like our opponent played a turn 1 Llanowar Elves. We're behind.
Yeah, like
Ronus
you
doesn't
can't
really help
play
you when you're
Ronus into a
behind.
board that you're behind. But it looks like Tim's plan next turn is to play the Phoenix, so he's not going to be that far behind.
Dan,
That's a Galta.
Dan drew a Galta.
He did not draw a land, but he drew a Galta.
What's the
Yeah, it looks
earliest
like
we
there's
can
another
play
Ripjaw Raptor.
Galta?
He cannot play Galta this turn.
No.
Land is good enough. We're going to play it. So...
How does Tim deal with a Galta?
You don't.
Good to know.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that you don't. Galta, you just have to get around it, or you just kind of die. 12/12 is a trample, pretty big. Okay.
What's going on over here?
It seems that Giovanni doesn't play against control decks very often. So
Okay.
yeah, if you're able to sustain a board pretty easily and make what is it 8 2/2s 16 20 power? It's 20 power. That's
It
the
is.
key there.
It is 20 power. You know how much
Yeah.
life your opponent starts with?
I think it's around 19.
It's
so.
close.
Okay.
It's close. It's actually 20.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Most of the time they just concede after you blood moon them, so
Yeah, that makes sense. Don't really need the
there's
life
no real
total.
life totals. It's kind of like I don't want to play this game.
Would you actually use to kill people?
Chandra, Torture Defiance.
It's a good one.
Pia and Kieran.
Another good one.
I had Karn, Urza, Scion of Urza.
It's a pretty good one.
That's the name. That's actually a pretty big nombo with Ensnaring Bridge.
I believe it.
But it was also convenient for the fact that I added more Pia and Kierans in the deck, so I could just throw the Karn Structs at them.
There we go.
Yeah, it's like, all right. And Pia
Synergy.
Pia and Kieran was the real card to use to kill people. Other than just, your opponent's getting frustrated and
Yeah.
not wanting to play anymore. This turn, I believe there should be a way for him to get Galt out.
There is. So we crew
So that's 5.
Aether Sphere Harvester.
We're at 6 with Llanowar Elves.
Yeah.
Llanowar Elves could make it 7, 8, and then we have 9, 10, 11, 12. Just in mana.
So the way so if you crew with the Branch Walker and the Land Worlds, you have 6 power in play and 5 mana, so you're 1 short.
So what he would have to do is generate 2 mana, so you could Blossoming
Exactly.
his Llanowar Elves.
I would Blossoming Defense the Aether Harvester if you're gonna get in there with it anyway.
Yeah, right.
You don't want to like use the defense as a ritual.
Yeah, right. Regardless, Carnage Tyrant looks like Tim's draw.
Okay.
Is Ronus in play now? Was that his last turn?
I believe Ronus is in play.
Yeah. See, I just feel so far behind now.
Yeah.
Tim. Like, I guess his plan this turn is to activate on something to make Ronus be able to block.
Yeah.
And Dan's hand is 2 Blossoming Defenses, so fortunately enough, the Ronus has Indestructible and Death Touch, so it's gonna trade or it's gonna kill whatever it gets in front of.
If I'm Dan, I'm just gonna swing in with the Harvester. I guess you swing in with this too because you still get to play your Gulta.
So kind of awkwardly and not awkwardly at the same time, I feel like the mono green really wants to play things on main 1, especially if you have Gulta, because it gets really hard to. Something Dan could do here, I believe, is hexproof his opponent's creature, which it would also, give him enough power for.
Yeah, that doesn't really work here.
Yep. It looks like Dan has overlooked the Death Touch part of Ronus.
No.
Nope.
We figured it out.
Okay.
And now we actually can't play Gulta.
Yeah. So Dan should draw a card from Ripjaw Raptor.
That is true. Make sure we do that.
So.
They figured it out.
All right, they
looks like a Steel Leaf champion.
Just played a new one. I'm kind of curious why he's not trying to slam that Gulta.
Well, that turn he couldn't play it.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately.
Shut up, Justin. What did I do?
Is that who is that?
I don't know. Shoe Steel.
Oh, that's Robert Meadows.
Oh, Robert Meadows. Right. That's great. Text box. You can go away.
All right. So Tim has again done nothing.
Oh. Why is Blossoming Defense? Why do they make it all target creatures you control? All of these new age texts to make things less confusing for newer players.
Oh god.
It's kind of frustrating.
All right, so we play this, and now we can play our Gulta. So let's do that now before we attack.
I would put Gulta in the Aethersphere Harvester.
Yes.
Victories.
Yes, let's do it.
Come on.
Come on. Come on, Dan. We believe in you.
Oh, Branch Walker doesn't want to fly anything.
It's no fun. It's a merfolk. It likes to stay in its river. I do like this attack, though, from Dan. Tim spent his whole turn to essentially block with Ronus or cast Struggle to Survive. This way he's got no to good targets for anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still okay with struggling the... I guess he can't struggle. He's only got 4.
Yeah, you could struggle the Steel Leaf champion.
And he's only got 1 red source, so he can't struggle plus Magma Spray, which is, I believe, something in his
Yeah.
hand. He's getting rid of the Steel Leaf. That makes sense.
He didn't just want to hang 4 mana.
All right.
Would have felt pretty bad.
What active treasons do we got in Standard? Tim's probably drawn to one of those right about.
So there are no good active treasons in Dominaria. I know that for a fact. There's Hijack.
Okay.
That costs double red.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's red 1. Other than that, I don't know. There's Wrangle, but I believe that can't hit big things.
Yeah.
It's either like 4 or less on power or converted mana cost. I don't know which.
We have Karizev's Expertise, which is also double red.
Double red.
Well, it looks like he's got a mountain in hand. He's just like been refusing
Not playing
to play it.
Okay.
I mean, it makes sense to an extent to bluff that you have a second color, so that way it seems like you're getting stranded with cards in your hand when like you just don't really need to play them. So Tim could be, next leveling Dan here. Gulta. All right, I think I'd leave that one on top.
I would also leave Gulta on top. Although now that this Ronus is active, it's a pretty good blocker.
Block 7 health.
Yeah, it's blocks. You still lose 7. Oh, he's at 8.
Yeah.
Is he just dead? Was he just dead?
He's got to throw a lot in front of Galta, it looks like.
Yeah, so what I would have probably done this turn is I probably would have activated my Hash of Oasis on Galta. Forces this double block.
I think this double block was going to happen regardless.
You think so?
Yeah, like, Tim's just got to get it off the board.
Well, Ronus is Death Touch.
You're right, but, I mean, he's at 8. He can't really, like, accept any, like...
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, he can just get picked away by the Harvester the entire time.
Yeah, but, like, how is Dan winning this, or Tim winning this game if he's, like, making blocks like that?
I guess he didn't actually have the second red source.
Yeah. But, long story short, he's not winning this game regardless. This could be game 2. Going to Dan Perkins. We're going to go to game 3 here between Mono Green and Green Red.
Yeah, Slater, Dan definitely could have attacked with the Raptor as well. Been a little bit more aggressive with his smaller creatures.
Yeah, that if you do that, you're most likely getting in for 4 with the double block. And if he's just throwing the Ronus in front of Galta and eating your Ripjaw Raptor with the, whatchamacallit, Carnage Tyrant, you're fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, you get to draw the Galta off of it, and I think you still have enough power in play to put it in.
Even that, he's taking 7 going to... if he does that, he's just dead. Because you're also tagging with the Harvester.
Right, yeah. So, Captivating Crew.
Captivating Crew could have also stolen that. Yeah. I don't know. Is Captivating Crew something we're putting... It's true, Angrath, the Flame Chained.
No, never mind. Captivating Crew can only be activated at sorcery speed.
Yeah, so?
So it means, like, you can't take it during your opponent's turn?
Oh, we wanted to take it during our opponent's turn?
I'm just saying, like, I guess that, like, on your turn, it's definitely good to, like, take them, but at the same time, I forgot what we were doing with it, so.
I think we're taking Galta and hitting our opponent with it.
Well, yeah, but...
I want to do that on my turn.
I wish you just, had, like, 8 mana, or whatever.
Maybe you do.
Can we just...
Landwire Elves. We can take both.
How do we get infinite mana so we can active treason or insurrection our opponent?
I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
There are some decks that even casting insurrection isn't really good enough.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
All right. So while we're going to game 3 here, while we're shuffling, I just want to remind you guys that we are brought to you by GameSwap in Mason, Ohio. Yep. It's a great place to go for any needs, be it Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, any board game, video games, all that stuff. Anything new recently?
This weekend we do have a PPTQ coming up.
It's true.
It's standard. It's Dominaria.
We will be streaming that.
A lot of these players that you see today.
Have we figured out who's commentating that yet?
No idea.
It's not me. I know that. I'm working.
I will be at a Reds game, so probably not me.
Ooh, nice. Looks like it's going currently Matthew Minier, who you saw round 1, and Jake Valentine.
Interesting. Jake's been talking to me like he's been wanting to play this weekend. So
I think he wants to play. He's been really trying to find someone else to do it. He is definitely wanting to play. So, looks like Tim is taking a mulligan, I believe.
Yeah. For Tim, he really has to have like a turn 1 elf of his own.
Or a way to
he's on the play, or an answer to a turn 1 elf. So I think that's what Tim's mulliganing for.
Probably. In this matchup, really, it's not wholly about the amount of cards you have. It's about the quality of your cards. Mm-hmm. Do they do enough? Do they either answer your opponent's thing or provide a thing that cannot be answered?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of figuring out who's the control deck and who's the aggro deck. Mm-hmm. And the green-red monsters deck, it's kind of weird to say, is the control deck here.
I kind of disagree. I actually think Dan's late game is better with Galta and Ripjaw Rapture and Steel Leaf Champion. I think what Tim wants to get on the board early and then kill Dan with his flyers. So I feel like Tim's a little more of the aggro deck.
Galta's like the only creature in Dan's deck that is unbeatable for Tim, like close to unbeatable. What it could be is the deck that's on the play is the aggro deck, and the deck that's on the draw.
That could be another thing.
Is the
yeah? Dan just feels so far behind now.
Yeah, he doesn't have an elf. He's got 3 Steel Leaf champions.
That's a lot of power and toughness, but none of it flies.
Yeah.
And if Tim just has Glorybringer here,
also yeah,
that's gonna be insane. I don't think he does.
Nope, he's just got land. He's got a braid. Doesn't do anything.
Another elf.
Another elf. Well, Tim's awkward. He wants to attack, but he can't. Yeah,
Tim actually loses this race.
Yeah. Oh, now the Phoenix is a horrible.
Yeah, now we have blocker. The Rishkar. I mean, it's still an okay blocker. It doesn't trade like Tim wanted it to. Oh, we're not playing the Steel Leaf, although we do have Blossom. I actually
like this because next turn you get to play Rishkar. And
I do too.
On both, so.
And you have the Blossoming Defense for the attack this turn, so your thing doesn't trade.
Tim's absolutely just slamming it in front of it.
Oh yeah, Tim's blocking 100% of the time.
I also like
Dan's not attacking. Okay.
I also like not attacking there, because what could happen is Dan goes to the attack, Tim blocks, and then he goes to use the blossoming defense, and it gets struggled.
Yeah. Okay, that's definitely something that could happen here. So what is this? 3 mana.
We're using the elves. It's a struggle. Nope.
Jade Light. Jade Light Ranger.
I would want to use actual mana.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like these things are blocking these Steel Leaf champions, and they're certainly not attacking into them. So I guess if we're afraid of something like, I don't know, Swelterings? No, you're the red deck. I don't know.
Yeah.
To me, I don't think it really matters because these are Steel Leaf champions and they can't be blocked by the Llanowar Elves.
Oh no, it just makes me feel good that I have stuff in front of me that can block. They can't actually block, but
yeah,
it looks like they can.
If he plays his mono green haste creature.
We don't have one of those yet.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
Alright, so we get rid of Rishkar, and this is going to work out pretty well for Dan here.
Yep.
These are so big, and we can't double block things because all of our creatures suck.
Yep.
So this is a free block, quote unquote. Does Dan have the Prey Upon?
Nope, just a couple blossoming defense.
Oh, we're playing Llanowar Elves. Okay, I was about to say, are we blossoming defense just for 2 points of damage?
All right, Tim, we're gonna have to. No, I would have braid the Steel Leaf champion that has 4 damage marked on it already.
Yeah, that seems loose.
Yeah, he may have overlooked that. Forgot that damage carries to the end of the turn.
Yeah, and that's gonna be big here.
Yeah, because you'd be able just to chump block forever again.
Yeah, if he found a struggle to survive, he would be.
Which he did.
Which he did. He would be
far
ahead.
Far ahead. He's still not in a bad position since he did find the struggle, because now he's just able to be a chump blocker again.
Yeah, but that's not what you, you need to kill your opponent.
No, he can't, because Dan gets to untap and he's got 2 blossoming defense in hand.
Yeah, that too. Oh, are we doing this in the upkeep? Oh no, you've seen blossoming defense. Come on.
Like you want to do this post attack.
I want to do it on my turn when it dies.
I mean that too.
Is that the other? Is that a third Steel Leaf champion?
It is a third Steel Leaf champion.
Oh lord!
And he's got mana available from Llanowar Elves. I guess he's just playing Merfolk Branchwalker here. That's fine.
If he finds a land, which he did, he can play that and play the Steel Leaf champion. I want to leave on my blossoming defense. My blossoming defense when I attack though, because if Tim doesn't block for some reason, you have lethal.
Earth to Thean. It's kind of a punt. Tim could have definitely played around a blossoming defense better. I think more of the punt was not using the abrade on the Steel Leaf champion.
I think both of those are actually fairly bad punts.
I mean, yeah.
I think even if without the abrade on the Steel Leaf champion at the end of the turn, with the draw of Struggle to Survive, I think he still could be in the game here. No, his draws were a little bad, so like that's a little unfavorable for him. But with both Sea Leaf champions still in the field, you've seen Blossoming Defensive at him. You should have played around it.
Yeah. He's just going to go ahead and scoop him up.
Yeah, not much he could do there.
Can't really block anything. So the game would have been a lot different had Tim picked off the one and then was able to kill another one.
Yeah, then Dan would be left with
just the 1/5/4, which Tim could block forever.
Yeah. And you would have gotten some damage in with the Rekindling Phoenix because you had a couple turns before the other one came down.
Yep.
So we have some time to draw some cards. And if against just 1/5/4, if you ever draw Glorybringer, that's a house.
Right,
that's just game.
Glorybringer probably would have won that had he drawn it at any point earlier in that. Instead of like lands.
Yeah, so
like even when Dan went for the second Sea Leaf champion instead of the Rishkar, had he drawn the Glorybringer right there,
that would have been
Dan's
big.
Too far behind.
So we figured out how to beat Flyers as mono green. It's kill your opponent quickly enough that they can't attack with them.
I mean, you just play bigger creatures that don't have trample, so that way they want to block with them.
I mean, that's fair too. And Diedbener Sport. Thank you very much for the follow. I know I butchered that name, so I apologize.
Did NRS Sport.
Did Eben.
Did EBN Sports? Did EBN Sports. We're going to figure out that name.
I probably won't.
I probably won't either.
Yeah, but that is going to be it for this round, guys. And we should be back in a little bit. Don't go anywhere, guys.